Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back. It's Space Cowboy 17 here. Got another video for you guys here today. Before we begin, if you guys can do me a solid and like the video, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell, that'd be greatly appreciated. Been a little bit stagnant with the subscribers, and a lot of you keep coming around and you're not subscribed, so I mean, might as well, if you are, then hit that notification bell. So, I wanted to talk about this whole thing going on with Amari Cooper and really what it means for the Cowboys offense and kind of like what I've been seeing. More so. I know I talked about that in my more recent video about my thoughts on the 2021 Dallas Cowboys, because I'm not going to be really doing a pregame video for the Philadelphia game because it's kind of a meaningless game. I might talk about a couple takeaways from the game after, but you know. So as we stand here today, Micah will probably not be playing in the game because he has the vid, and on top of that, look, you want to rest him for the playoffs, honestly, too. And, a big thing for me that I want to see is how does this defense look without him? Like, I genuinely want to see this because it kind of gives us a taste of, like, okay, if he's out, what can we do defensively? And it kind of gives me a sense of, okay, do we need anybody after? Now, I still believe that, and I'll get to draft talk once the season is over. I'm worried about what's going on now. So let's get back to this. So taking a look at this report here about how Amari Cooper was asked on 105.3 The Fan, his thoughts on the offense, how he feels about not getting many targets, stuff like that. So, and they asked him, like, if he's frustrated by that. So he said the following: I got to be honest, it actually does frustrate him. Because, yeah, we're winning, but the defense is playing a huge part in that. We're not really explosive as we should be. We're not converting a lot of those turnovers into touchdowns, and a lot of them are field goals. And I feel like we could be, I feel like I could be a huge part of that. So that's what frustrates me. Then he goes on to say, I think I could do more in the red zone if I get some targets. I can do more on third down if I get the targets. To help the offense be what it needed to be, I think I can definitely help change that. Now, this interesting stat is what mind boggles me, is that in the two games that Amari Cooper missed, and for him to come back, he's only gotten 14 targets. And he's only recorded 2 70-plus yard games this season. What's crazy is that in the past two seasons, he's had 9 games of 70-plus more yards in each of the past. That's crazy when you think about that. And you might be asking, why is that important? Because it's not that he's not getting the ball and the offense is flowing. The problem is that the offense is in a weird rhythm that it's not even a rhythm. It's just this weird, like, all over the place thing. And he's not getting the ball. But here's the part that frustrates me. You could look at it two ways. I've seen people on Twitter say it's Dak's fault for not getting him the ball and Kellen, like, it's a mix of the two. There are moments where Dak misses Cooper on some plays. Now, I get it. He's not going to get the ball to Cooper every single down. But the problem is it's a twofold situation, right? The first part is that your quarterback needs to be on the same page of what play is being called. And yes, he could be changing the play at the line, and certain people could be getting the ball. Like, a lot can change. But the thing that bothers me is the way things are operating. So let's look at this Washington game. So in the Washington game, Amari Cooper was targeted a lot, and he was moving the ball efficiently. Now, he didn't have these long touchdowns or anything like that, but he was getting targets, and the offense was moving very well. But then you go to a game like this game against Arizona, and, it's like he just goes silent. And yes, he got a touchdown in that game, but it didn't feel like his presence was felt. And he, in my personal opinion, is a top 10, at his peak, top 5 receiver. And he showed what he can do. I mean, you look at that game versus the Buccaneers to begin the year, and he shows what his capabilities are. And you don't scheme up things to get him the ball? Like, what the hell are you doing, Kellen? Seriously. And that's the part that irritates. It's one thing if your quarterback's doing it, but I feel that it's more of a scheming situation because there are moments where I see, he's able to get the ball and make plays and stuff like that. But then there are others where I'm like, Kellen, what are you doing? And that's where I'm losing my faith in him. And I got to give a shout out to BJ Nix of the Stargate Podcast because on Twitter he made the point where this feels like a situation where it was Dez Bryant, Scott Linehan part 2. Where Dez was frustrated with how the offense was humming, him not getting the ball. Now, I have my own personal take on that, but my thing is it is similar in the sense of the offense. Here's what frustrates me the most about the Kellen and Cooper part to this compared to the Scott Linehan and Dez situation. With the Scott Linehan Dez situation, Dez was a different type of receiver, and you kind of felt like he couldn't back up the talk. And I hate to be like that because I love Dez, but when you go back and watch what Dez, and don't give it was Dak, no, the problem that I had, and I went out and said it, my main problem with how Dez, where he was at, was we're paying Dez all this money, but when we give him the ball, he either can't catch the ball or he fumble. Like, there were moments where when Dez got the ball, he was not legitimizing why we should give him the ball. With Amari Cooper, he's obviously a different age and different type of receiver, but when he gets the ball and he's getting the ball a lot, he's making the offense move. And so for me, if I'm Kellen Moore, I'm like, maybe I should give Cooper the ball more. And I love Amari Cooper. I think that he is one of my favorite receivers in the league. I'm not thinking he is one of my favorite receivers in the league because of what he brings to the table. But, come on, man. It's just frustrating because when you see the offense move, especially how it moved in the early part of the season, this is what I'm just so... This is the part where I'm frustrated with. I get it that people are thinking, what's wrong with Dak? Is something wrong with Dak? And for me, I think the calf is healed. And the reason I say that is because there are throws that he makes where it's like, okay, looks fine. He's running the ball a little more. That's fine. And I get it, the indecisiveness is one thing, but why is it that you have all these weapons and you can't even game plan for them? Or rather, it feels like that you're just not even doing anything. It feels like we're just going in it's like I'm getting deja vu to Scott Linehan all over again. But this time, you're getting a guy that, he shows moments of brilliance, and then he looks like a freaking idiot. I'm not wrong in the sense that, listen, Kellen has moments of genius, but then there are moments where he either tries to be too cute, or he does just dumb stuff, man. And that's why I'm not afraid of him leaving. I'm more afraid of Dan Quinn leaving, but I doubt he leaves. But look, you have one more game to figure out what the fuck you're going to be doing in the playoffs. If you can't figure this thing out, you're going to go one and done in the playoffs. Plain and simple. Now, I do think I still stand by the fact I think Dallas will probably win a playoff game, if not. But, look, at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys and Kellen Moore need to figure this thing out. They got one more game to kind of figure out what they want to do. Because then the playoffs are already here, man. Now, again, we don't know when Dallas is going to be playing. They could be playing on Saturday. They could be playing on Sunday. And so, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, okay, and hear me out here. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, you need to get Kellen Moore back on track. If you're Mike McCarthy, because you're the head coach, you need to get Kellen to stop being a fucking idiot sometimes. You need to have him be like, listen, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Just stop. Do what you got. And the thing is if you're going to pass the ball, do it effectively. And you might be saying, well, when they go up against these defense and they're disguising the... I get that. But my thing is that if you're going to run the ball, run it smarter. If you're going to pass the ball, run concepts that are going to fool defenses. You know, don't do play action if you're not like, and that's the thing, man, is that you're basically hoping to go, and this is why this is not a winning formula. You can't win the Super Bowl if your quarterback is unless you're Aaron Rodgers and unless like he can carry you. If your running game is not semi-effective, you're not going to go anywhere. Like, that's what I'm worried about. And I personally think that if Dallas doesn't do their part there, they're not going to do anything, man. And that's what bugs the hell out of me. Use your weapons, but more importantly, don't use them to run up the damn gut for... Why are we doing that? It's not working. If you're going to run the ball to the outside. Use different gimmicks. Now, I'm going to just say this right here, right now. If we get to the playoffs and we start pulling out the random crap and it's working, cool, I'll be semi-pleased. But the part that's going to piss me off is you don't hold back in the regular season, man. Don't do that. Because if that's the case, Dallas could have been looking at having the #1 seed at this point. So I don't want to go on forever. But message to Kellen Moore. Get this act together. And I know he's not going anywhere, but if it were up to me, I would have canned his ass after I would have canned his ass after the season's over. Or let him go to Jacksonville. I honestly do hope he goes to Jacksonville because I think that we can use a different offensive coordinator. I think the stench of that Garrett era is still around in Kellen Moore, and I think that if you get rid of him and you bring in Ben McAdoo, because a part of me feels that Ben McAdoo is going to be the next offensive coordinator if Kellen Moore leaves. And he could. He's getting that interview with Jacksonville. Now, if he stays, now we have a problem. So let's just hope, because I feel Mike McCarthy as a head coach needs to take back that play calling. And what's weird as I go back to it is that I know I felt like Jason threw, at that moment in time, he felt like he threw Kellen Moore under the bus, but now it's kind of like, and I'm not defending Jason Garrett. I think Jason Garrett did outstay his welcome, and I think because of the guys he had around him, it wasn't working. But you see what I'm getting at. So I want to leave you with that. Do you guys think Cooper should get the ball more? Who's at fault for that? I think it's a mix of both between Dak and Kellen Moore. But again, we'll see what happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Bye-bye.